Even working together for months and months and months can still be tricky because you don't know how people are going to act after you mess around with them. You just don't know. And let alone somebody who you have to be in a band with and work with, who you got to rehearse with, who you have to see, sometimes live with. Ouch. I'm Phoenix Novell, and I'm a singer, songwriter, rapper, producer, entrepreneur.
No question, no lies, I'm a boss bitch. And a God, I'm a grind to my heart quits. Is she hungry for the money? Is she's all in? Is she no slave? And she gonna win. Big bands to the side, ain't no losses. Stack bands, no ties, except for my kid. Only thing that's on her mind is to be rich. And she knows.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Phoenix Novell, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Musicians on Gigs. Now, this episode is called Confessions of a Gigaholic, Part 1. Now, today's topic is about why dating somebody in your band or messing around with somebody in your band is not always the best choice. You have chemistry with people, you like people and you like who you like. And sometimes, like in my case, I am a world traveling cover band artist. So I spent a lot of my career living with musicians, straight up strangers who I didn't know. And the next day, I'm roommates, and then we're also working together. So I've seen a lot of this, and I've seen a lot of more bad outcomes than good for other musicians. So let's talk about it. So I'm not gonna say any names because, listen, there are rules to this shit. I'm a writer, I share my stories, but I'm respectful of people's privacy. Anybody who, you know who you are, okay? No need to, shout nobody out. You know who you are. And hopefully you've learned lessons. But today's story is about a band that I was in where it was a girl, she was single. Okay, and she was a singer like me in the front line. And then there was one of the instrumentalists, one of the backline musicians who had a whole girlfriend. And it was serious. I want to say that he had a fiance, but I'm not sure. But this girlfriend of his came to the rehearsals. She was definitely very much a part of his life. And they lived together. But I noticed right away how close this particular musician was with my co-singer. And me and my co-singer, we lived together, just me and her. We shared a nice apartment, and I won't even say what country we're in, but it was in Asia, all right? And I remember one day she came and told me that she thought it would be a good idea for this particular musician to move in with us because we lived relatively closer to the gig than he did. Like, he lived far away with his girlfriend. But she thought it would be an idea for him to live with us because, we had space, and why not? And immediately I knew it was a bad idea. I knew it was a bad idea, one, because I was excited about not having to live with guys, and two, I knew that he had a girlfriend and I saw them doing their little flirting thing, and I didn't want to be somebody who was in the middle of it or somebody that the girlfriend later asked about what was going on with them if she found out. I just didn't want to be in a situation where I knew something that I didn't need to fucking know. And when this happened, I didn't see anything in terms of them doing anything inappropriately or whatever, but I saw the flirting. I didn't see them kissing or anything like that, but I saw the flirting and I saw the potential. I always I'm always good at seeing how things could go right or wrong. And so she didn't even ask me. She was just like, yeah, I think it'd be a good idea, that we let him stay here. So I'm going to suggest it. I shut that shit down quick. I was like, absolutely not. Like, I don't think it's a good idea. I didn't tell her that I saw them flirting and that I thought that, something could happen. But I made it clear that I was uncomfortable with living with a guy, even though I lived with tons of male musicians over my extended period of doing this kind of, job. So we got into it. She was not happy because I think she had already told him that it was a go. Because he definitely seemed like he was all ready. And so it made me look like the bad guy. It made me the bad guy. I remember him having an attitude with me. He never said anything to me like directly, but I remember after I had said no to her, his attitude changed towards me. So I figured that she probably told him Phoenix said no or whatever. And he definitely gave me some, nasty ass looks and shit. And then it created a rift between me and my co-singer, because I don't know if she had plans to move in on him. I don't know what it was, but she definitely was in her feelings about it. Like, damn, you don't even know this fucking dude. Like, are you like, why are you trying to, I get being nice, but like I said, if I didn't see them flirting around and I didn't see how this could go left and I could be caught in the middle, I probably wouldn't have made a big deal, because he was cool. He didn't give me no problems before that point. But I think I made the right choice because of his nasty ass attitude towards me after I said I'm not comfortable with it. So cut to, sips hot water because I'm about to go sing. Cut to, he wound up like just turning into a straight up asshole. Like, he would talk shit and call her names in front of the other band members. And people would be just like looking around like, wait, what? I still to this day don't know what happened between them, because sometimes when you have that kind of tension and you interested, you're going to find a way. All right. Like I said, I don't know if anything transpired because I never let him move in with us. But all of a sudden, one day, he was just bitch this and this fucking hoe this and that. I mean, just like, and even would come next to me talking shit like I was a part of it. And I'm just like, well, who you talking about? Her. And I'm like, wait, whoa. And she's over there. She knew, like, whatever it was. She was just like, whatever. Like, she would play it off like, it ain't no big deal. And I was like, I wanted to be like, aren't you glad that I didn't let him move in with us? Because it was just so obvious that he was a douche fucking bag. And either she didn't give him none, or she gave him some and wouldn't give him no more. I don't know what the fuck it was, but all of a sudden he was talking about her like she was a sworn enemy from childhood. I mean, trashing her. I could hear it, and because we were kind of on the outs, I was kind of distant from her so that I couldn't really defend her, because I was like, like you tried to play me. At one point, y'all was talking shit about me. So now it's like, payback or whatever. But I wasn't trying to make her feel bad. But eventually we got cool again and everything was back to normal. But that kind of situation happens a lot, where sometimes somebody has a partner, sometimes somebody has a wife, sometimes somebody has a girlfriend, some boyfriend, and you mess around with somebody else in the band on the low. You run the risk of wanting to quit. You run the risk of them quitting. You run the risk of them putting you in a situation where you feel like they make you feel like you were the bad guy, right? Like, you knew all along I had somebody, but you still wanted to fuck with me. That same passion that you felt with them could turn into vengeance, could turn into resentment so easily. And now everybody else know y'all fucking business. Even though we don't, we do. Right? And you never know what the other person is going to tell somebody else. Like I said, nobody ever confirmed to me whether or not they slept together. But you would think by the way that he was talking shit about her, by the way she was trying to get him to move in with us, there was definitely some strong sexual tension between them two. And that's the last thing. Neither one of them quit. Like we finished that gig, thankfully. But I mean, for a nice period of the time, there was tension between them two that everybody was privy to. I don't know how she was feeling emotionally, but I was feeling bad for her ass, because I'm just like, gosh, like, if you did give him some pussy, don't you regret it? Like this one, him? And if you didn't, ain't you happy? But don't you wish you didn't give him hope? Like, I mean, there are so many things that happen when you are, like, when you shit where you eat. Like, you don't like the gig as much. You dread seeing this person. The person who, you know, the people who are supposed to be tight and give each other chemistry and make each other feel pumped up and, you know, you're sharing your passions with, gives you a stomach ache. Like, the moment you lay eyes on them, and you can't quit because you tied into this shit for the next few months if you on a traveling gig or on tour. I wonder how they're doing. I haven't spoke to any of them for years. But that situation was even more uncomfortable for me as somebody who had to see this shit on a regular basis. So, musicians, be careful. Be careful, not just with people who have partners in your band, but just messing around with somebody in your band before you really even get to know the motherfucker. Like, I mean, if y'all been working together for even working together for months and months and months can still be tricky, because you don't know how people are going to act after you mess around with them. You just don't fucking know. And let alone somebody who you have to be in a band with and work with, who you got to rehearse with, who you have to see, sometimes live with. Ouch. All right, so take it from me, y'all. Once again, it's your girl, Phoenix Novell. Thank you for tuning in to another Musicians on Gigs episode. And stay tuned for another episode soon. If you guys have any stories you want me to share, any comments, or you just want to shout a sister out, email me or message me. Email me at musiciansongigs@gmail.com or message me below. Leave a comment, let me know your thoughts. What do you think? You think it's cool to mess around with somebody in your band? And if so, what's the etiquette? Like, should you wait a certain amount of time? What about if they got a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a wife or a husband and you know it, but y'all got chemistry? Do you mess around with them? Like, what do you do? All right, y'all. It's your girl, Phoenix Novell. Until next time, peace. I remember losing my voice on a gig. I mean, when I sang, it sounded like I had rocks in my throat. But they wouldn't fire me, and I couldn't quit because I had no money saved. On one gig, a customer came on the stage and told the band to be quiet because she was reading a book. In the nightclub, I almost fell down the stairs of the Great Wall of China. They are uneven as shit. I was on a gig in Morocco, and McDonald's was on one side of the street and a man was on the other side of the street walking his donkey. My favorite language to sing in is definitely Spanish. Favorite cultural experience? Going to an ancient castle in Nagoya, Japan. Worst cultural experience was witnessing racism and colorism in Thailand. If you've ever gone to a hotel, nightclub, restaurant, wedding reception, corporate function, or anywhere there was live music, that's me. That's my world. My name is Phoenix Novell, and I'm a traveling musician. Now, I am absolutely in love with the gig life, and my book Music Notes is a collection of short stories, real talk, and artist advice about life on the world stage. So if you want to get to know Phoenix Novell a little bit more, then go to my website and download the ebook Music Notes, exclusively available at www.phoenixnovell.com.